Hey everybody, it's Christina Holloway here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the common assumption that your coworkers are not your friends. If you want to get promoted and keep being successful at work, you should limit the degree to which you make friends at work. That's not always true. I'm going to take you through 4 coworker false friend scenarios that can become problematic in your career development. Then I'm going to walk you through one scenario where a friendship can flourish at work. Hint, it's the friends scenario. Real quick, if you enjoy this content and want to learn more about how to make power moves in your career, make sure to follow my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video from me. All right, so let's get started. Number 1, the hanger-on makes it harder to set boundaries. This is the first false friendship, and it's an easy way for someone to take advantage of you. If you notice that your friend comes to you more and more often asking you to do a favor and then another favor to help them look good without you really getting much visibility for it, then you're going to have to start setting boundaries because you do not want to be seen as the fixer. I have a video on that right here. Statements like, "I'm sorry, I can't help you this time, I'm stretched thin," or "I have some other things to finish first, can we talk tomorrow?" are good ways to deflect the friend who depends on you to help fix their problems. The more you can figure out a friendship is one-sided, the easier it's going to be to keep that dividing line between the two of you, because that's not a friend. That's a hanger-on. Number 2, the jealous type can interfere with your professional development. If you get promoted over your peers, and I have a video about that, you can check it out here, then you may be facing some resentment and jealousy. People you thought were your friends at work can also be people who like you because of your flaws, not despite them. Competitive people will measure you up and down, assess where you do well, and find your vulnerabilities. If they decide that you're not much of a threat to their career in terms of skills and ambition, then they'll be friends with you. If you succeed beyond what they assumed you were capable of, you will have a problem. Jealousy and resentment can happen, but pay attention to any behavior that's passive-aggressive or outright undermining you as a way to take you down a notch. A promotion is a great way to find out who your friends really are, but it's also a terrible way to find out. Number 3, the lazy friend can become manipulative. This is another false friendship. At work, that would be someone who begins to depend on you to help them look good. This is different from number 1, the person who's always asking for help. This friend may sit on a project with you or constantly ask to work with you because they know you're going to do all the work and they can just ride your coattails to success. You may start to realize that they're great to go out with after work for drinks and conversation, and there are all kinds of fun at the office events. But when it comes to work, they could start to come across as incompetent, uninterested in doing good work, or just plain lazy. This is definitely a superficial friendship, and sometimes we don't figure it out until it's a little late. To prevent this friendship from imploding your career efforts, do your best to request projects away from them. Separate your output as much as possible. This is all about you carving out your own career path as soon as possible and making sure that you have limited exposure to this person professionally. Number 4, the distracting friend can derail your own career advancement. This one is really important. Your existence at work is about you making money and also finding fulfillment in your job by building a meaningful career. It's not about sacrificing your own advancement so that your friend can do better. If anyone ever asks you to sacrifice your position, your authority, or your leverage for their benefit, and your reasoning is, "Well, that's my friend," then seriously take a pause. If your work friend ever asks you to take the fall for a problem, or join them to confront someone, or back them up on some sketchy idea, then think twice before doing it out of misplaced loyalty. This isn't just about the potential to undermine all the goodwill you built up for your own advancement at that company. It's also about making sure that your friendship is based on mutual respect for what each of you is trying to accomplish professionally. Okay, those are the 4 scenarios you want to be aware of as you build connections at work. There is one scenario, however, where these types of situations happen very infrequently, and that's getting on a high-performance team. It's the Friends scenario. What Friends can teach us about friendship in the workplace. It's no secret that the 6 actors who worked on the TV show Friends were not, in fact, close friends at first. And because they are actors, they actually had to show up to work every day and do their job. It looked like a super fun and amazing job, but it was still a job. Because friendship was actually part of their job, they needed to bond quickly. By the end of the first season, you can see that they had great chemistry and had developed some strong bonds. It's also well known that when the Ross and Rachel storyline took off, the 2 actors, Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer, were headed into salary negotiations for new contracts. What happened next is interesting and also a good example of working in a high-performance culture. If Jennifer and David had taken more money earlier, they would have been paid more in the short term. But without a united front, any one of the other actors could have left, and that would have affected the success of the show and also their paychecks in the long term. By creating a united front, they were able to keep the show going longer, support each other as they were recognized for their excellent work, and still show up as professionals every day. And when personal issues showed up, like Matthew Perry's addiction problems, they were still able to be supportive and kind to each other. Now, the one caveat is that the show had a great casting director who evaluated each actor, looked for good chemistry, played around with casting them in different roles, and let their own personalities shine through the characters. That's what building a high-performance team looks like. It allows people to show up like talented equals, and when 1 or 2 rise to the top, they can be recognized for their accomplishments without others resenting that success. Competition exists, but less so in a high-performance unit because the success of the project output, or the TV show, is more important than the success of any one individual. How can you get on a high-performance team? Well, that's the trick, isn't it? If you feel like you're just one of a group of disconnected people, then you're not on a high-performance team. Getting on a high-performance team means you need to request those projects, interview for that role, even when you already have a job, and deliver excellence every day because the people around you are also working at that level. Push to be on better teams. Pay attention to where you want to be and where you are now, and then ask yourself how you can start working alongside people who challenge you every day to do your best work. The more you work with people who raise you up, the easier it will be to create friendships that last and are mutually beneficial. On a final note, I did work on a high-performance team, and I knew right away that's where I was. It was electric, and I'm personal friends with many of those people even now, 25 years later. In fact, in 2020, during the pandemic, a couple of us created a Facebook page, invited as many people from that team as possible, and had monthly pandemic calls with about 20 people attending those calls. It was absolutely wonderful. Yes, making friends at work is possible. Keeping those friendships is also possible. Just make sure you're building friendships with people who elevate you to your highest potential, so you end up like this and not like this. All right, so that's it for my video on how to establish healthy friendships at work. If you have an experience of how you were able to build a friendship at work that helped you be more successful, please share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. And if you enjoyed watching this video and you found it helpful, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up by hitting that like button, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you never miss another video from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.